Hello guys, it's Steven, Day Traders and Mentor here. So in this video, I'm going to talk about biggest losses that I personally experienced and also giving you guys the lesson of what I learned. What's the solution of how to really get over the biggest losses and to recover your confidence. So first of all, let me give you a little bit about my personal experience. In my first half a year of trading, I've turned 27,000 into about 60,000 in the first month. Then I took a biggest loss on BBIG, which is only about $15,000 loss, but my unrealized loss went up to 55,000. So I was pretty much on the edge of blowing up my account. After that loss, I really adjusted my strategy because I was using a strategy that a certain amount of tickers cannot go over 500%. That's the limit of how much stock can push in one day. So BBIG went up to 900% in that day. So I wasn't very sure about how to really manage my risk if the stock goes over of what I tracked. So I was sitting there feeling a little bit miserable and not sure what to do, and I let my loss keep going and going and going. It went up all the way up to 59,000 at the top. And I only have a $62,000 account. So it was a terrifying experience. After that loss, luckily stock got halted, went up to 0.3 to $5 and went to 5 to 3. So I was managed to come out with a $15,000 loss. But that loss really taught me about, okay, never look at the stock into how much it can spike in one day. That's a very important lesson for beginners. If you see a stock running 10,000% or 20,000% in one day, there's no limit for them to go up. So always follow your rules and stick to your risk management because that's the most important part in your trading career. The second loss I experienced was over trading. This is one of the major problems that a lot of people give up on trading. Once they make a first loss, they will tend to make the second attempt to recover their loss that they made in the first place. And if they make a second loss, then there goes pretty much an infinite chain reaction until you realize what you did, and at that point you already lost 50% of your account. So I actually did that once. I don't remember what ticker it was, but I traded at least 12 times on that day. Each day I took $20,000 loss. I took about $240,000 loss with a $600,000 account. So that was a pretty big loss. After that, I learned that if I make two mistakes on the same ticker, you cannot trade it ever again. You have to wait until tomorrow because the more trades you place in one ticker, the more losses you are likely to experience. That's from my personal statistics that I've been tracking for myself. If I trade more than 2 times on one ticker, I'm likely to lose more and more money. So after that lesson, I learned that I will never place more than 2 trades in the same ticker, and always I will have to ask myself that what pattern am I trading, especially I'm placing on the second trade. Does it fit my risk reward, and is it really worth it for me to trade? And also, can I use this method to make money in the long term? If I only make money in this specific one time, I might lose it in the future. So that's something that you have to take into considerations as a beginner trader. Very important. Is your pattern consistent? And whenever you are making a recovery trade, is it really worth it for you to put this habit in your head than to potentially either win or lose in the future? So the last mistake I typically make is random trades. Sometimes you wake up in a bad mood and you place the wrong trade and you don't lose too much, but in the long term it does add up. So this specific habit, I think everybody has it. Sometimes you don't really realize, but you have to be willing to face your mistakes. I always go into my account statements and find out, okay, this trade is necessary. This trade is not very necessary. And I will layer out what trade is random, what type of trade fits the pattern, but I still took a loss. But losses are manageable, and this trade, I have to place this trade because it does have a good risk ratio. So once you select out all the random trades, you can add them together to see how much money that's worth in total. So for the last year, the total loss is about $1 or $2 million. It's a pretty significant amount. Each time you may take about 50K loss, 70K loss here and there, and all the random trades tends to add up. As a consistent profitable trader, you want to keep your trading record as clean as possible, so you know that you're focused on the right thing, staying disciplined. The more right trades you make and the less random trades you make in your career, that will just generate much more money for you. So if you don't see a specific trend of how you are making random trade, that's a good sign for you. But if you see that you are making 20% of the random trades that equal 20% of your losses or profit, that's something you have to slowly cut it out. Those type of disciplines doesn't happen in one day. Then if you can recognize it, make a plan for it, that's where you can slowly become a much better trader in the future. That's something I'm currently working on as well. So the last point I want to make is account distribution. This is something that you can use to protect yourself from blowing up your account. Let's say that you are being consistent, you made from 30,000 to 100,000. What I will do is I will split those 100,000 in 3 different accounts: 30K, 30K, and 40K. I will use 40K to trade and 30K as my backup account and another 30K in my bank account. So in this way, I have about 2 chances to screw up, and if the market tends to change on me a little bit, I will have backup account for me to adapt to the current market conditions and come back again. So in this way, it protects you from never being trading again. As I said, the longer you're staying in this trading industry, the more likely you will become more and more experienced and get better with it. So you cannot risk the capital that if you lose, you cannot trade again. That's something that will just end your career in one go. So make sure that always separate your equities and putting up at least one backup account to keep you safe from making those really big mistakes when the market really adjusts itself. So that will be all the tips that I learned from some of the biggest losses that I experienced personally. I think it happens to the retail traders out there as well. So if you're a beginner, make sure write down whatever that's important. If you're over trading or if you're making random trades, I already give you the solutions. Work on it slowly. The most important part will be discipline and manage your risk. So that will be the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.